Friday.
The news with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Friday. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And the lake effect snow machine you were just mentioning is turned on once again.
Still kicking at this hour. Let's take a look at what's going on right now on the radar, and it's pretty evident we're going to be seeing some of that snow still continuing today, but the difference is it's going to affect different areas this morning. So yesterday we had several, or dare I say numerous, narrow lake effect bands that formed into a more notable band, as you can see here. It is not as intense, but you can still see the definition of that band moving south. This is expected to shift its way north as we head throughout the day, mainly impacting areas north of the thruway. That's the where the bullseye of this system is going to be. It's not going to be as intense in terms of potential major snow, but still it's snow nonetheless. A look at roadways this morning. As you head down, say for example, Route 8, Route 12, there's some snow on the roads. The crews are currently plowing right now and still are pretty much ahead of it, so the road's not that bad, but still drive as good as your ability is in snow chances and snow conditions. As you can see here, lake effect snow continues today. Temperatures climb into the mid to upper 20s. Again, we have the details on the travel impacts today as well as this weekend coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Eric, thanks. We are following breaking news.
Welcome back to Sunrise. Happy Friday, everybody. Today we are tracking some more lake effect, and this largely dependent on location. Today it's mainly going to be north of the thruway. Let's first take a look at the current conditions right now. 14 chilly degrees out there. Feels like 5, so another very frigid start to your day today. We look at the current conditions in downtown Utica. Now, when you head, say, in the thruway area, or for example Risky Boulevard, Route 5 or north, roads a lot more clear compared to areas south. A fluffy snow has accumulated in areas in this zone right here, so you might have a couple inches of fluff on your windshield to brush off early this morning. Roadways, you can see here, obviously where the snow is still falling, you got some slowdowns along Route 20, 12, 8, even parts of, say, 51 and 28 over there in Herkimer County. And when it comes to travel impacts, we have that lake effect. It's mainly north today. Not everyone will see this lake effect today. We're going to see snow north of the valley Saturday morning, but then in the afternoon, or excuse me, in the late morning, early afternoon, between 10 and 1, a snow squall is possible. And this one could cause sudden whiteout conditions. So again, when it comes to weather today, it's isolated depending on location, but we're going to dive into that snowfall band, how much more snow we can see, and the snowfall forecast for this weekend straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. ICANN partnered with the Little Falls School District last night.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Well, this has definitely been a week to remember here in mid-December. Let's take a look right now at the Yorkville Battery Live radar, because we are looking at that lake effect snow early this morning. It is starting to shift its way northward. We can see the chain reaction right here. See this slightly north shift here? That downwind effect is going to move this lake band eventually over the Mohawk Valley and then setting up mainly north of the thruway. When it comes to snowfall today, this is our expectations. A few minor tweaks, but nonetheless, our thoughts are still the same. The impacts will be the most in the areas in blue and in red. And although the amounts have trended down a little bit, we don't have that much of a multi-lake setup here today like we did yesterday in some parts. It is still going to produce some sustained snow all day long, so it feels going to be very difficult not to reach at least some of these numbers here today. And this will continue to shift its way north and weaken overnight before there's more snow on the way as we head into the weekend. Here's what I mean. So there's that lake effect. It begins to taper off, shift north. We have a clipper arriving Saturday in the morning. We're going to be tracking some light snow, a little heavier in the foothills, the Adirondacks. A snow squall has a possibility of rolling through in the late morning, early afternoon from a cold front. Then that cold front will sweep a lake effect band into Lewis County, and that will sweep south as we head into Sunday. But let's show it here in a lot more detail. There's this lake effect band. See it barely north of the thruway. So when it comes to conditions where, if you're wondering, will my town or city see the snow? And sometimes it might even split. For example, North Utica and South Utica will see drastic differences in snowfall accumulation today. Then that band will weaken as it shifts its way north. Saturday will begin with some light snow. And then there's that squall potential in the late morning and early afternoon. Then heavy lake effect snow sets up along Tug Hill, mainly outside of our area. That band will sweep south in the mid-afternoon, or even early afternoon, I should say, on Sunday. Now, when it comes to snowfall accumulations, this is what we are expecting by the end of Saturday. You can see here, mainly the foothills, the Adirondacks, seeing the most snow. Then when we factor in Sunday, or at least Saturday night snowfall with all that lake effect, a lot of snow downwind of Lake Ontario there. And then finally that band pushes through, and this is the amount of snow you could see by the end of the weekend. 7-day forecast. We still have some lingering flurries taking place on Monday for the time being, and we are expecting a little bit of a warm-up as we head toward next week. Highs approaching near 40 with some rain chances, Gary. It's going to be quite a while since we see some of that, at least enough to the point where it's not snowing along with it too. So,
yeah.
But quite a interesting forecast today, to put it lightly.
Yeah, quite a stretch of lake effect.
Yeah.
Wow. Eric, thanks. The time right now is 5:21. Still good morning once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. Let's get right over to the Weather Center. Meteorologist Eric Gage tracking some more lake effect snow. Right, Eric?
Yeah, that's right, and it's a bit lighter right now, but it's going to strengthen and shift north throughout the morning and the afternoon. Let's take a look at the roadways this morning. What can you expect heading out the door? Well, it's been pretty busy on the roadways the past few days. Well, we look here, and for the most part, I mean, yes, there's going to be side roads that are going to be snow-covered. Most of them are plowed. If you're in an outlying road, obviously it might be a bit later in the morning to get the roads plowed. But much of these snow-covered roads mainly staying south of Utica. That's where that snow band really strengthened last night, producing a couple of inches of fluff that you might be brushing off your windshield early this morning. So there's the lake effect band right now. It is slowly continuing to move through this, mainly the Route 20 corridor, but it is gradually shifting north. When it does that, it's going to strengthen. In the meantime, a look at the roadways in a lot more detail on the traffic tracker. We have some slowdowns here along Route 8, Route 12, and Route 20, but this will gradually improve throughout the day as, again, that snow continues to shift its way north. A chilly start. Temperatures in the teens, wind chills in the single digits again. We're going to see those highs climb into the 20s with some, again, that lake effect snow north of the thruway. We're going to be diving into that snowfall map and also have a look at the snowfall this weekend coming up straight ahead. Gary?
Eric, thanks. With the country at this point speeding.
Omni, cutting-edge surgery without the cutting.
Welcome back to News Channel 2 at sunrise on this Friday. Well, you can see here we've got even more toys, and it looks like these might stick around for the weekend, allowing some of you to send in even more. And again, a lot of great toys here. We have Arts and Crafts Connect 4. We have some Legos. We have some board games. We have even an Elmo behind me, too. So again, a variety of toys for all ages. And again, this is going to make every kid's day that gets one of these for this Christmas. So again, a big shout out to all of you who have been submitting your toys this holiday season. Our photo of the day today takes us to Secaucet for a frosty sunrise sent in by Tammy, and a great shot there of a close-up of a frosty leaf over the snow, and of course the sunrise there out in the distance. If you have a photo like this you'd like to send to us, your snowmen Any art sculptures in the snow? Again, we have a lot of snow to deal with right now, so send it to wktv.com/weather/pics. So, we're talking about snowfall, travel issues, and all that stuff, but, it is well, not quite winter time, but it is still snow season. And a look at the base snow depth of a few nearby ski resorts here. McCully Mountain, 18 to 24-inch snow depth there. Whiteface, 15 to 32. Oak Mountain, Woods Valley, and Snow Ridge, they all open tomorrow. With Snow Ridge having an opening for Saturday. They are closed Sunday, by the way. But either way, it's that time of year. If you're a ski enthusiast and you want to do some skiing, again, we have some great snowpack already. You might want to take advantage of it this weekend. Gary?
Thanks. Time Magazine has named the
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. We begin with a look at some lake effect snow still continuing over parts of our area. But as you can see right here, the snow is not really that intense. But what we are seeing is this gradual shift north. And this is what we were expecting today, this shift north of the thruway, and then it will strengthen again as we head toward the mid-morning and eventually for much of the afternoon and evening hours. When it comes to snowfall accumulation, some minor tweaks to our forecast. This is the general idea. And the key thing here is if you are south of the New York State Thruway, you're going to see a whole lot less in terms of impacts today than those you north of the Thruway. Notice here, see Rome, see how there's light blue and dark blue right on the dot there? This is one of those instances, and it's happened last year, for those who remember, where North Rome saw more snow than South Rome and vice versa. So this will extend, of course, into the hills north of Utica, maybe in the Deerfield area here, and then extending, say, to parts of Florence. I think Florence might be the bullseye of this snow event today, just outside of Camden, some of those hills up north there. But either way, this is between now through Saturday morning. So this is not going to be only a short duration event. This will be sustained snow up north. So therefore, I don't think we have an issue of hitting that mark in terms of any snowfall north of the valley. So bigger picture shows that lake effect really starting to strengthen north of the Thruway today. As we progress throughout this evening and tonight, that band sweeps north. Our next round of snow is going to be in the form of a clipper system. This will produce a sudden squall as it shifts its way east, and then eventually we're going to see some lake effect working its way through as we head into Sunday. So let's dive into it. Our Skycast shows that lake effect mainly staying in the central northern portion of Oneida County today. It will wobble north and south a little bit, then shift north and exit. We will see quiet conditions overnight before widespread snow returns briefly, and then we're going to see that squall potential Saturday in the early afternoon. Then lake effect snow, heavy lake effect snow in the Tug Hill area. That band will sweep south by the late morning, early afternoon on Sunday. So in terms of weekend snowfall, this is during the daytime hours on Saturday. This is during the overnight hours, Saturday into Sunday. You can see here Tug Hill seeing a blast of some heavy snow. And then by Sunday itself, just some additional accumulations as that snow band begins to move its way through the area. So in terms of impacts today, north of the Thruway, highest impact zone here. Then following that Saturday, we've got that squall rolling through briefly. It's not going to last too long. We're going to warm up though, Gary. By next week, we're already in the mid-30s, near 40 degrees. So we might see some melting taking place after quite a sustained cold stretch.
Yeah, long stretch of lake
Yes.
effect, boy. Eric, thanks. Well, one special letter to Santa has found
News with Gary Liberatore and meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us here on this Friday morning. I'm Gary Liberatore.
And I'm Storm Tracker 2 meteorologist Eric Gage.
And boy, that lake effect snow can get pretty hazardous. I drove over to the airport in Syracuse last night. It took me an hour and a half to get there.
My goodness, yeah. And again, the key here, as long as you drive slowly, you will get to your destination. Now, today, thankfully, the snow is not as impactful like it was yesterday,
Yeah.
but still, some of you might see some notable impacts. Let's take a look at the current conditions out there right now. We begin with a live look at those roadways. And as a heads up, those of you south of Utica, where much of that snow fell, the roads have maybe a little bit of fluff on them. It's fluffy, dry snow. So it'll fly off your car if anything is left on after you brush it off very quickly. So it's not wet, it's not clumpy, very light snow due to how cold it is this morning. We're in the teens right now. The radar showing some of that snow still lingering, but as we mentioned, we are expecting that direction to shift, and sure enough, it is. That band is slowly sweeping its way north. It's currently impacting Syracuse right now, but within the next hour or two, it's going to shift almost entirely north of Syracuse, eventually impacting Oneida County north of the Thruway. And that is where we're thinking the highest impacts are going to be. Right now, so far, Route 20 got some minor slowdowns near Pompey, but besides that, the Thruway is looking relatively clear. Some of those higher elevated roads, 12B, 12, some sections of 8, and maybe even parts of Route 28 and 51 over here have some minor slowdowns, but to be expected in those higher elevations. Main roads today are going to be pretty clear and plowed. But either way, if you're north of the Thruway today, just prepared for potential impacts. We're going to dive into those impacts and the amount of snow we could see coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
Thanks. We are following some breaking news of...
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back. Happy Friday, everybody. What a week this has been with all the weather we've seen. Some of you having multiple snow days, one snow day, delays, you name it. It has been a week to remember. Either way, though, we take a look at what we can expect heading out the door in your forecast in a minute. First off, we have a look at the current conditions. Cloudy skies, temperature 15 degrees. Feels like 6 out in Rome with that 6-mile-an-hour wind from the north-northwest early today. And we look behind us in downtown Utica. We have, of course, main roads looking relatively clear to start your day today. Some roads south of the Mohawk Valley have some fluffy snow on them. Crews, of course, have been working really hard this morning, so a lot of the main roads are honestly having very little, if any, impacts to travel. Just want to budget a little bit extra time to brush off some of that fluff off your car today. We're looking at that lake effect snow starting to intensify and shifting north as expected. So for right now, mainly the roads that are impacted are the higher elevated roads here south of Utica. Today's impacts, or at least the impacts the next few days, lake effect snow forming north, remaining north this afternoon. Snow north of the valley tomorrow, and then we are tracking that snow squall that's possible tomorrow afternoon. We're going to have a look at all that coming up in a few minutes. Gary?
You can't be not happy for those skiers this year, huh?
Oh, if you're a ski fan, well, my goodness, you've got a great season ahead.
They were due, that's for sure. Eric, thank you. ICANN partnered with the Little Falls.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. What a week this has been, both with weather and everything that has to do with snowfall. We take a look right now at the radar, and we can see, of course, that lake effect still taking place across pretty much all of central New York. Now, it was mainly south of the Thruway this morning, and it's still taking place in some of the hills of Madison County and Otsego County. But it is shifting north and strengthening. This is what we've been expecting all morning long, and will continue to remain north of the Thruway for much of the day today. So in terms of expected snowfall, you can see right here there is a huge difference if you're north of the Thruway versus south. Let's dive into it right here. So I want to pinpoint one location here. See Rome. See how that blue is right on the cusp of it? This was intentional. North Rome might see a lot more snow than South Rome. that type of scenario here with lake effect. And it has happened several times, both not only even potentially this year, but also several times last year. Various reports of different accumulations. So either way, this is our thoughts. 4 to 7 inches in the blue, dark blue area. With a little bit higher, I'm thinking Florence area, West Leiden might be the spots that see the most snow from this. But still, this will take place between this morning through Saturday morning. So plenty of time for this snow to accumulate. So this is all driven in by this low pressure to our northwest, a multi-lake setup here. This time it's from Lake Huron. Yesterday, we were from the Georgian Bay here. So we have a bit of a shift here in the arrival of lake effect. Then tomorrow, we're going to see the arrival of a Clipper system. It's going to produce at least some light snow in the morning, followed by potential whiteout in the afternoon with a snow squall. Then we're going to see lake effect begin to form in the areas around Tug Hill. Then that will sweep south through the Mohawk Valley as we head into Sunday, late Sunday morning. So looking at our skycast today, you can see that sustained lake effect north of the thruway for much of the day today. It might wobble a little bit south or north here, so Utica might see an area of decent snowfall rates, maybe an hour or so today. Then that snow will continue its way north and weaken. Then tonight, it's looking pretty much mostly quiet. Tomorrow morning, light snow moves in, heaviest here north of the valley. That snow squall moves through, and then we're going to see that lake effect sustain itself north and then sweep south as we head into Sunday afternoon. In terms of snowfall, this is expected Saturday. This is expected Saturday night. You can see obviously those higher totals right there in Tug Hill. And then by Sunday, additional accumulations. This is what we're expecting by the end of the weekend on top of what we're going to be seeing for today. Your 7-day forecast, looking pretty chilly the next few days with snow chances. We are warming up, though, by next week. Gary, 35 the high Wednesday, 40 on Thursday. So we're going to have a little bit of a thaw here after an intense, snowy, and cold stretch of weather.
Yeah, a lot of folks loving the snow, though.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Snowmobilers, skiers, this weekend's looking great.
Yeah, Eric, thanks. U.S. health officials are bracing for what's expected to be a rough respiratory once again, and thank you for joining us for this half hour. Let's head on over to the Weather Center as Eric, this lake effect snow machine, firing up yet again today.
Yeah, that's right. And right now it's not that intense, but it is strengthening right now. Let's take a look at how the roadways this morning and what you can expect heading out the door. So a lot of the snow that took place overnight south of the Mohawk Valley. So those of you in that area might see a couple of inches of fluff on your cars early today. And same thing on some of those roads here. But as you look at the radar here, so this is what was left of that band. We look ahead to the next few hours, and you see how it's strengthening and pushing its way into Oneida County. This is what we are expecting today, and so far it is panning out as such. Roadways this morning, a few slowdowns along Route 5, 12, 12B, 8, Route 20 toward Pompey, and some sections, I would say, closer to southern Herkimer County, some of the hills down there north of West Winfield. A couple accidents to report in Rome to mention this morning. First off, a crash on Route 46. Heading on Black River Boulevard at Oak Street. A heads up for that as an accident there. Then heading farther south on Railroad Street at Mill Street, a crash right there closer to East Dominic Street. So a couple of crashes to report in Rome. That's really about it in terms of any travel impacts today. Some light snow on some side roads. Just drive carefully. You get from point A to point B before you know it. We do climb from the teens into the 20s today. However, those of you north of the thruway, you might have some more intense snow than other spots. We'll talk about the snowfall potential and the timing, impacts, all that and more straight ahead. Gary.
Eric, thanks. And don't forget, the Storm Tracker 2 forecast is never more than 10 minutes away each morning. While with the country at this point...
2 is brought to you by Holland Farms Bakery and Deli.
This live look of downtown Cooperstown is brought to you by the Leatherstocking Credit Union.
Welcome back. Some fluffy snow to coat the roads in areas south of Utica. And as we head throughout the day today, some of that snow is going to shift its way north. But enough about the current weather. Again, we're looking at our photo of the day today, which takes us to Secaucet and a great shot of a sunrise, a frosty one by Tammy. Look at that shot right there. If you have one you'd like to send to us of winter events, for example, even building a snowman, says WKTV.com/weather/pics. Always looking forward to all of your great submissions. Now, with all the snow we have seen in the past few days, here are some updates on the snow depths at some area ski resorts here. And so far, McCully Mountain, 18-24 inches. Gore Mountain, 6-24. Whiteface, 15-32. By the way, Oak Mountain, Woods Valley, and Snow Ridge, they all start opening tomorrow. Snow Ridge only open on Saturday, by the way. But either way, if you are a ski fanatic, well, this might be a great weekend to do it. Not only are we going to see some snow, we're going to see even more snow this weekend, especially up north. So definitely some great news for all of you who are avid snow lovers. Gary.
Eric, thanks. Time Magazine has named the
New York's most dependable weather team. Here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Happy Friday. What a week of weather it's been. And today, well, we have even more lake effect snow to track. Let's take a look at the radar right now because some of you might be seeing a lot more snow than others. First off, those of you south of Utica may have a couple inches of fluff both on your cars and potentially on some side roads. Just drive carefully this morning. Once you get onto the main roads, they are plowed and treated. This fluffy snow is easy to plow away. In fact, Risky Boulevard right now and some other spots, even the arterial in Utica, mainly clear. But you can see here, the elephant in the room, that snow really starting to ramp up, mainly north of the thruway as expected. And this is how much snow we are expecting between now through Saturday morning. And you notice here that you've got some very sharp gradients. And you notice, for example, Rome, right there, that black dot is where Rome is. And the dark blue and light blue splitting the city. That's intentional. North Rome might see more snow than South Rome with this type of setup here. So it's one of those very narrow type events that could produce some drastic totals here. But either way, we are expecting this to take place again for pretty much the entire time frame of this morning through Saturday morning. As you head south of the thruway, much less in terms of any impacts. So the snowfall continues for much of the day today. Lake effect sweeps north. It quiets down overnight. Light snow Saturday morning. A snow squall right here moving through in the early afternoon. And then lake effect around Tug Hill. That'll sweep south briefly by Sunday afternoon. Let's show it in a lot more detail here on our Skycast. So there's that snow band. You can see here, look at the thruway as a dividing line. Look how much it mainly stays north of it. And that will continue for the evening, overnight. Eventually, it will dry up. And then light snow moves in again Saturday. Snow squall arrives by Saturday afternoon. There could be some impacts for that between 12 and 2. Just make sure you're weather aware for that potential sudden whiteout. Then heavy snow continues in the Tug Hill area, potentially extending up as close as Old Forge. Then that will sweep south as we head into Sunday. So in terms of accumulation, so this is beyond today. This is not including today. This is Saturday night. See all that snow really forming at Tug Hill. And then on Sunday, we have additional accumulations here. So between Saturday morning and Sunday night, the entire weekend, this is how much snow we could be seeing across the area. Your 7-day forecast, we are still tracking some lingering flurries on Monday for the time being. And we have a warm-up on the way by the middle of next week. So it's been so cold and so snowy the past several weeks, and now we're going to see some thawing taking place. And hopefully it's a sign that we're going to see a mix of snowing and thawing, because last year we didn't see any thaws in winter, and that was what caused that snow to really stick around and accumulate.
Yeah, all the ski lovers loving this.
I will say that, though, great for all the ski resorts and all the fans of snow.
Good for them. Well, no one won the Powerball drawing.
The news with Jason Pallas.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. We're going to get to all those stories in a minute, and do not adjust your set. I am Jason Pallas, in for Gary this noon. You know, the last time I did this, 6 years ago here at noon.
Wow.
It's been a while.
Remember
And
the
it's
last
great to be with you, my friend. We haven't seen each other in a
The
while.
last time we were in a show together.
Been a while.
Been quite a while,
Been-
yeah.
been a
Welcome
while.
back, Jason.
Thank you. And you've got a lot on your plate with
Yes.
the snow. This is all like north of the thruway right now, right?
Yes, primarily north right now. Let's take a look at the radar. We'll see how things are shaping up. As you can see here, in the last, I would say, hour and a half, actually I'm going to put the time lapse on this, it's been intensifying mainly north of the thruway. It's been sputtering here and there a little bit, but it's just starting to strengthen now with that multi-lake setup here. So you can see, of course, those darker blues indicating that heavier snow. And we mentioned it is mainly falling north of the thruway. Look at that cutoff point as it goes farther south. So again, if you are in this zone right here, again, primarily northwestern Oneida County, that's where most of that snow is expected to fall. Despite that, roadways are generally okay so far today. Crews have been hard at work. They've been plowing and treating the roads. Lots of green here compared to the past few days where we've seen a lot more on the other color scale of yellows and oranges. But just a heads up for those of you north, you're going to start to see that snow accumulate very quickly with that snow falling right now. So today, we're going to see that lake effect continue. It's going to end a little bit tonight as it shifts north. And then we're going to see the arrival of more snow chances tomorrow and on Sunday. We'll dive into who sees it and how much snow you could see straight ahead. Jason?
Eric, thank you very much. Breaking news this noon. Rome Mayor
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are continuing to track that lake effect snow passing over much of Oneida County and mainly north of the thruway. Now, that doesn't mean that areas south of the thruway are snow-free. Just the intense snow is going to be falling at mainly north of the thruway here. We can see that intensity starting to take shape right now. In fact, let's take a look inside Rome right now from the MVCC campus where the snowfall is coming down at a pretty good rate here. A bit less visibility earlier ago, but it's one of the parts of lake effect where one moment it's very heavy, one moment maybe not so much. But either way, there's a live look inside the city right now. Again, our thoughts are relatively the same. A sharp contrast in accumulating snow. Still, again, can't rule out some of that snow from still passing through the southern valleys, but that snow that really sticks will mainly be taking place in the areas in blue here. And again, it's right along that dividing line in Rome, potentially sliding a bit south. The basic idea is it's mainly north of the thruway corridor. So the bigger picture shows that lake effect is forming from multiple Great Lakes. We have a cutoff of Superior, Lake Huron, and eventually Lake Ontario, making its way here into central New York. Now that band will sweep north. We're going to see widespread snow tomorrow. Lighter snow, though, not nearly as impactful. But then an afternoon snow squall is possible between 11 and 2 o'clock. So just make sure you're weather aware of that during that time frame for a potential sudden whiteout. Then once that squall moves through, intense lake effect snow sets up along Tug Hill before eventually sweeps south by the mid-afternoon Sunday. So again, a pretty busy weekend here weather-wise. We're just not out of the woods just yet with some of this snow. But let's zoom in here in the Skycast. So today, there's that lake effect snow. It's pretty persistent through much of Oneida County and even sections of Herkimer County too. This will sweep its way north and weaken tonight. Now, much of the overnight hours today or tonight should be pretty quiet. Tomorrow, though, we're going to see that light snow work its way in from a clipper, and then here you go. We have that snow squall potentially moving in between, again, 11 and 2 o'clock. Heavy lake effect snow sets up in Lewis County in northern Herkimer County, mainly north of Old Forge. It sticks up there for much of the overnight into early Sunday, and then you can see that band sweeping south as we head into Sunday afternoon. And then by Sunday evening, it will progressively dry up, at least here in the Mohawk Valley. So let's talk about snowfall accumulation. This is between Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon around 3 o'clock. So you can see this. This does not include the snowfall today. So additional snow by around 3 p.m. Saturday in that snow squall. Then that heavy lake effect snow really sets up north, and look at those totals skyrocket along Tug Hill. Some of those spots there picking up nearly over 2 feet of snow in some of those isolated yellow zones right there. Then we're going to see that snow band sweep south as we head into Sunday evening, and this isn't a picture of the total snowfall expected for the weekend. And you see here it's a story of multiple systems, not just plain cut and dry of widespread snow that we sometimes see from nor'easters. Either way, 7-day forecast, we have snow chances lingering Sunday and early Monday, and a possible warm-up. That's something we haven't really said too often here, Jason. We're from the teens and single digits up in near 40 by next week. So maybe a sign of a warm-up on the way, but still, we got that snow still arriving today.
I was going to say, we have enough snow. We probably have a good shot at a white Christmas. I mean, it would take several days.
It would,
of 40
yeah, it
or
would take
50.
a lot of melting, possibly. So, I mean, it's too early to tell if it's going to be snowing on Christmas, but this is a pretty healthy snowpack for a lot of areas.
And we could do a little less snow for a little while.
Yeah, we'll double it and pass it on.
I like that. All right, thank you, sir. Catastrophic flood. Once again, thanks for joining us. I am not Gary Liberatore, alongside meteorologist Eric Gage.
And we got some ski news to share.
By the way, before we go any further, because I always have a little bit of time extra, I just wanted to say, earlier I called him the doctor. All right, let's lay this all out. He's not officially a doctor. It's a fun nickname that we have for him because he is the doctor of weather and doctor of all trades. So when I say the doctor, Eric Gage, I'm not offending anybody that is a doctor.
I don't have a PhD. Do not call me doctor.
But he is very, very smart when it comes to the weather. And you're going to lay it all out for the skiers because this is like everybody's loving this right now.
Yeah, I mean, how early in the season are we seeing these snow depths? It's not all doom and gloom with snowfall. There's a lot of people who love the snow. In fact, let's take a look at some of these base snow depths here. And again, this early in the season, we're talking 18 to 24 inches in McCully Mountain. That is spectacular base snow depth this early in the year. Even Whiteface, 15 to 32 inches. Gore at 6 to 24. And on top of that, how about this? Oak Mountain opens the 13th. Woods Valley and Snow Ridge does it well. By the way, Snow Ridge, it's open only on Saturday this weekend. They're closed again on Sunday for another event. But either way, we look at the radar. We're still tracking some more snowfall. We're not done with it just yet. The faucet of Lake Ontario is still shooting out some water here, and it's pretty heavy, especially in Camden and the area we mentioned, which would be the highest snowfall, will be out near Florence. And you can see quite the difference here. It is relatively quiet in Boonville and in Herkimer. Look at the snow falling in Barneveld and North Utica. So it's largely dependent on location. Roads already starting to see some minor slowdowns in northwestern Oneida County. And again, today that snow will continue. It'll shift north tonight, weekend. We have more snow on the way this weekend. We're not done with it just yet. We'll have a look at when you could see it and the most impactful times you'll be seeing it straight ahead. Jason?
All right, Mr. Gage, thank you. The Madison County Sheriff's Office.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's meteorologist Eric Gage.
Good afternoon. We continue to track lake effect snow impacting sections of our area, mainly in Oneida County, north of the Thruway. Let's take a deep dive right here on the radar. And you notice, of course, those darker blues indicate heavy snowfall rates, and they are falling pretty consistently in this zone right here. So Oswego County, northern Oneida County, even central Oneida County, impacting Rome. In fact, let's zoom in here to Rome itself, which, again, it's not heavy snow in parts of the area, but some of Rome experiencing some of that heavy snow as well, especially up north. So it all depends on location. And when it comes to snowfall today, no major changes to our forecast. We tweaked a few things here and there, but our thoughts still stand that the highest impacts will be north of the Thruway today. In those blue zones, you can see straddling the Rome line there. It kind of goes north Rome, seeing more snow than south Rome. That's how tight these gradients will be today, by the way. Now, this doesn't exclude snow from still falling in areas south. We're just not expecting a whole lot of accumulation with it. Also, the fact that the wind's blowing pretty strong, so any of that snow that does fall might have a tough time sticking on surfaces. So this is our thoughts until Saturday morning. I'm going to share our thoughts from Saturday to Sunday coming up in a few minutes. First, though, what happens is this lake effect will sweep north and weaken. We have a clipper arriving tomorrow, light snow Saturday morning. A cold front moves through, bringing a potential squall in the early afternoon. We'll time it out here in a second. And then that lake effect snow that sets up north of our area will sweep south by the middle of the day Sunday. So we do have some opportunities for even more snow this weekend. But let's go day by day. So here's the snow today. It will wobble a little bit north and south, but persistently remain in Oneida County, mainly north of the Thruway. Then it will shift its way north and weaken as it heads toward Jefferson County. It does remain mostly quiet tonight, but by tomorrow morning, light snow arrives. Heaviest totals or highest totals north of the valley in the foothills of the Adirondacks. Then by between 11 and 2, we're going to see this squall move in. Now 11 o'clock mainly out west, 2 o'clock out east. Either way, sudden whiteout possibility. That's the last of the snow here locally for a little bit because that lake effect kicks into full force well north of the area in Lewis County, in Jefferson County, and in parts of Oswego County. Mainly Tug Hill is what we're talking about here. Then by Sunday afternoon, that snow band will sweep south, producing sudden heavy snow in the middle of the day. So this is from Saturday morning to Saturday afternoon, not including today's snowfall. You can see how much snow we're expecting for the middle of the day. Once that squall rolls through, heavy lake effect snow sets up north, and look at those totals approaching near 2 feet in the yellow zone up there. But again, no 2 feet here, all only in Tug Hill. Then we're going to see that band sweep its way south. This is our expected snowfall for the entire weekend here on this map. So again, you can see generally where much of that snow is going to fall, but we're not snow free. So just make sure you're tuned in to the latest forecast the next few days. It's still going to be pretty cold. Sunday, high of 18, low of 4. And then we're going to start to see a gradual warm up by Tuesday and Wednesday, 35, eventually 40 degrees. I know it's going to be snowing in a lot of parts up north, but this might be the weekend to go out and do some skiing or snowmobiling if you live up north too. Enjoy that healthy snowpack on the ground.
And if you haven't yet, you see the QR code at the corner of the screen right there. So important to have that new Channel 2 weather app.
And it tells you about warnings, especially lake effect warnings when they happen. If you were in a snow squall warning too, they might not issue them just yet, but either way, you'll have the warnings on the go right to your phone.
The doctor. Love you, buddy. Thank you. An Arizona grandmother behind.
Here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Bill, that snow was coming down for Ben at the courthouse. Seems to have subsided a little bit now.
Yeah, we're going to get a much needed break. It feels like it's been snowing all week around here, and I mean, it's pretty much has. The lake effect band has lifted to the north, and we're going to get a break for now. The next round of snow arrives early tomorrow morning as the next weather system moves in. It's going to be another clipper. This one, thankfully, isn't going to produce as much snow as the same type of storm that we had on Wednesday. We're looking at a general 1 to 2 inches of snowfall for many areas, but heading south a little bit less. And this is all going to arrive tomorrow morning, and it will be very light. I don't expect any big problems with travel. Current temperature 28 degrees. It's actually relatively mild out there for the time being. We do expect overnight lows to drop down into the teens, though. Snow showers will still linger around, especially to the north, but again, a mostly dry night here in central New York. Snow showers here for Saturday as well as Sunday. Colder weather returns. I've got to look at the weekend forecast coming up. Luke, back to you.
Bill, thanks so much. New at 10.
The WKTV Tower Cam is brought to you by the Central Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. We are taking a live look in downtown Utica. Snow has come to an end. For most of central New York, roads are wet and driving is pretty good. It's going to stay like this tonight. Snow is looking to be light on Saturday. We'll get another round in the afternoon as a cold front moves through. It produces very little accumulation. Really doesn't cause any big travel issues. Sunday, localized lake effect snow will be impacting central New York. It looks a lot colder Sunday and windy, and a temperature of only 18 degrees. The snow tonight is falling north of the Mohawk Valley, and it's very slowly dwindling. This will be coming to an end as we head into tonight. The wind direction is changing, and that's carrying the lake effect snow away from central New York. It's been a very cold month of December so far. I know we're only several days in, well, about almost 2 weeks in. We are running 11 and 11, almost 11 and a half degrees below average, which is really significant. That is a big number for stats over the course of several weeks. This number will probably change, but I think it's a pretty good bet that we're going to end up below average for the month of December. We remain above average with snowfall. Close to 20 inches above average. We picked up another inch and a half today in Utica, putting us to 34.8 inches on the season. We typically get 95 inches, but we're running way ahead of schedule. You don't see numbers like this until early January, typically in central New York. So you look at the wind on Saturday, a cold front moves in, and it's going to bring up the wind. 30 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts here Saturday afternoon as a cold front rolls through. The winds will die off heading into Saturday night, and then we're looking at breezy conditions on Sunday. And with the cold weather, it's going to be wind chills in the single digits. A clipper moves in from the west. This will produce snow on Saturday, and it looks very light. Looking at a trace to an inch of accumulation from the Mohawk Valley south. North of the Mohawk Valley, 1 to 2 inches possible. That snow will be arriving again Saturday, and it looks generally light and affecting most of the region throughout the day. A cold front will move in Saturday afternoon. This will pick up the wind, and if you are driving in the afternoon, just be aware you could have a quick drop in visibility because of the wind. It doesn't last for very long. Temperatures get much colder. Heavy lake effect snow will be happening in the Tug Hill Saturday night into Sunday, and then that band will drop southward heading into Sunday afternoon. In the Tug Hill, there could be 1 to 2 feet or more of snow Saturday afternoon into Sunday afternoon. Again, this is going to stay out of our area, but if you like snowmobiling in the Tug Hill, some great news for you. Mostly cloudy tonight, low 15. Tomorrow, looking at snow showers, 32. Windy in the afternoon. Storm Tracker 2 7-day forecast. Looking at cold weather Sunday and Monday, snow showers, temperatures close to 20. Tuesday and Wednesday looking dry. We've got a warm up. Melting snow?
I know. Look at that.
Can you believe it?
Are we
Temperatures close to 40 on Thursday?
Are we too far out to start talking about whether we'll have a white Christmas, Bill? Is that the we've not hit that point yet? Do you not get this question often?
I do, but not yet. I just think it's a little too far out. Some of the models are actually hinting of a warm up towards Christmas. I just don't know if I believe it, just based on how this winter has been.
Okay, we'll have
so
to
the jury's still out.
All right, thank you very much, Bill. There's a lot now for our first look at your forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis. Bill, these bows, the pillows in front of you, are from the 21 Club of Central New York's holiday party. We had some extras left over that we were giving out to folks, and as excited as I am that they're going to be used to stuff the bus, I think they suit you nicely over there.
I like it.
Yeah.
It looks great. But of course, these are going to be gone soon because they're going to be donated.
This is true.
But we're going to enjoy them while we have them.
Exactly.
Maybe we can enjoy the snow while we have it too, because we're going to have it for a while. This is not going anywhere anytime soon. At least it gave us a break tonight. The snow is lifted to the north, and we are going to get a break in the snow overnight. Unfortunately, it's coming back tomorrow. If you're driving tomorrow afternoon, some of this will impact your drive. A cold front rolls through, and we're looking at a general 1 to 2 inches of snow across most of central New York. Most of this happens in the afternoon, and then there will be some lingering lake effect to follow. 28 degrees, the current temperature tonight. Overnight lows drop down into the teens, cloudy skies. More chances for snow Sunday, along with some colder weather to start early next week. I've got to look at the forecast coming up. Luke, back to you.
Thanks so much, Bill. New tonight, the New York State Attorney General.
From Central New York's most dependable weather team, here's Chief Meteorologist Bill Curtis.
Good evening. Things are looking pretty quiet out there tonight as we take a live look in downtown Utica. Some light snow is expected Saturday. Temperatures will be in the low 30s. Lake effect snow arrives Sunday. Temperatures a lot colder Sunday. Highs only in the teens. Lake effect snow has lifted to the north tonight, and we'll get a break from the snow. It's been a very cold December, 11 degrees below average so far, with cold weather in our immediate future. As we look at the season snowfall total, 34.8 inches. We're also running way above average. It's been quite a winter so far, and it hasn't even started yet, at least on paper. We're still more than a week away from the winter solstice, the first day of winter. The winds pick up tomorrow afternoon. A cold front arrives. We're expecting wind gusts between about 30 to 40 miles an hour. The winds will continue as we head into Sunday, but they won't be quite as strong as that cold front on Saturday. This is all coming from a clipper, an area of low pressure moving in from the west. It produces an inch or two of snowfall as we head into tomorrow. The timing of this looks to be generally in the afternoon. Tonight, cloudy skies, overnight lows drop down into the teens. A widespread snow arrives Saturday. A cold front moves in, and that produces a burst of snow. Some heavy snow taking place along the Tug Hill as we head into Saturday night and early Sunday. In fact, Saturday night could be 1 to 2 feet of snowfall along the Tug Hill. Again, this looks to stay north of the WKTV viewing area. Mostly cloudy tonight, low of 15. Tomorrow, looking at snow showers, 32. Cold on Sunday. Lake effect snow does drop south. We're expecting an inch or two of accumulation across central New York. Monday's high 22, snow showers. Tuesday and Wednesday looking dry. We warm up. Temperatures near 40 by Thursday. Luke, back to you.
Bill, thank you very much. Really put the bow